Only Khalif Kairo. Hi, Khalif.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Niko fiti. Yeah.
How is it? How are things?
Now situation is better. At least now we are healing. God willing, we get discharged today. Yeah, it's been a crazy 4 days, but I'm thankful. Yeah.
Okay, maybe those seeing you for the first time na pia wanakuona na uniform ya hospitali. You can just tell them briefly what's the history, what happened.
No, my name is Khalif Kairo. I'm a Kenyan businessman. I had an accident last Friday? Yeah, I had an accident last Friday, and unfortunately, I ended up fracturing my wrist bone, that bone over there. Yeah, so it was pretty serious. I had to come to hospital, undergo surgery. Then afterwards, I had an infection, very serious bacterial infection. So we've been dealing with that infection and the whole thing with the surgery. Yeah, but yeah, so it was a normal biking accident. I'm a biker, so I normally ride my bike on weekends. Been doing it for like now. I've been riding bikes since I was 12 years old. But yeah, this was the worst injury I've ever gotten. Yeah, yeah. Most of the time it's normally bruises, scrapes, but this was a bit serious. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe like how did you find yourself here pale? Were you brought unconscious ama ni ulijileta?
I was actually half unconscious because I remember I fell, I rolled a couple of times, and then I fell in Komtaro. And Nduthi guys came and picked me up. So I passed out momentarily. Then I came and I found myself in a bike. I was taken to a clinic just around Gong. It's called Zamzam, the health center, very small health center. They stabilized me. They gave me first aid, and then I was brought to King David, so where we are shooting from right now. So I was brought on Friday. Friday, that was around Friday 4 p.m. And yeah, they put me on very heavy pain medications, and later that night I underwent surgery. Yeah.
Maybe like after finding yourself here at King David, the first aid, of course, was performed, your surgery. How are things going on right now?
No, I mean, everything is good. At least my hand is not working. So there was a time like I couldn't move my fingers. It was also very extremely swollen. It still is swollen, but now the swelling is coming down. I'm due for an assessment today. My surgeon is coming to discharge me later on. The guy who did the surgery is called Dr. Agunda, so he should be coming. But so far so good. I mean, I can only thank God because it's not had any complications. It was very straightforward. Apart from the infections, and I got a bit sick afterwards. Like for 2 days, Sunday, Monday, I was in like very bad shape. Afterwards, I think I'm pretty much okay right now. Yeah, so hopefully I'll go home, maybe rest for a few days, then maybe resume work next week. Yeah, God willing. Yeah.
Because we also know that you're a busy businessman. Maybe has it affected your business in a way ama bado unachapa tu kazi?
No, yeah, I mean, no, in any place I was supposed to be out physically, I mean, I had to cancel all the meetings I had to go to physically. I had to cancel them. So, yeah, it did affect, but I have a great team at kaiandkaro.com that has been supportive. Yeah, and that will ensure that, like things are still moving. We're still pushing cars, we're still doing our thing online. Yeah, yeah. So I'm grateful for the team. Yeah.
Maybe to family and friends, have they showed up? And of course, how about the medical bill? And in any case, somebody out there wanna support you.
Um, well, yeah, my family has really showed up. I mean, my mom, my parents, my dad, they've been here for me. Even my friends, like kina nani anaitangwa Tumbili has been coming here almost every day. Yeah, and I have other friends who've been coming to check up on me. Yeah, so even the bill, God has been very grateful. We've not had a very good year as a company, but I mean it's been taken care of, and yeah, I thank God for that. Yeah.
Maybe in any case, somebody wanna come through for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, well, I could give out my number. Okay. I can give out my number. It's 0703 33 4662. Yeah. So that's my number. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, too many people when I posted mlikuwa mnataka kusupport Cairo hapo. He has given out his number. You can do anything that you want, ndio, lakini unajua pia warembo watakuja pale.
No, it's, I mean, Simba, they'll come say hi. If I if I'm available, I'll say hi back. Yeah, it's me sinanga issue. I'm very accessible, to be very honest. Yeah. Yeah.
Because a sense back will declare that you wanna quit the relationship part kidogo. Maybe have people been DMing you?
No, yeah, I do get quite a number of DMs, but uh, I'm not really interested in dating. As I've said, it's been a crazy year. So I think I've gone through quite a number of significant setbacks. Like, it's been one storm after the other. Like, remember in April, there was that whole case about going to prison for a whole month, and then now we came out. We've been trying to stabilize the company, which takes a lot of time. And now you see, just when we thought maybe things are going to settle, I get injured. I have to get admitted to hospital. So I'm not really in the right mind frame for a relationship. But despite that, when the time is right, I think I'll date when the time is right. Yeah. Once things calm down. Yeah.
And of course, I believe that every moment is a learning moment. Maybe from the for the period that you've been here, from Sunday till date, maybe what have you learned new?
I mean, you should give thanks for good health. Yeah, good health is something you can have all the money in the world, but if you're stuck on a hospital bed, it's a very sobering experience. Like, remember, like on Sunday immediately after the surgery, I couldn't even bathe myself, and a nurse had to do it, and that's very sobering because I remember the last time I was bathed by someone was probably 8 years old. It's like 20 years ago. So I mean, it teaches you that you need to thank God for everything. Just waking up, seeing the sun, walking, having all your faculties in order. I mean, that's a that's a big miracle. People don't realize it. It's a whole just waking up and just walking with your feet in good health. That's a big miracle because people have all sorts of problems. You think you have a bad injury, you go to the theater, you find someone else is due for, they can't walk, they need to have their spine checked. Yeah, so it's sobering, and I've learned to be content, really, even despite all the setbacks. I'm like, oh, thank God, at least I'm not sick. Yeah, I might be injured, but this will heal, God willing. But at least I have my health. That is the most important thing. Yeah.
Maybe just apart from accident, umesema of course it's your first nini accident. Maybe have you ever been admitted for a longer period in the hospital?
Funny thing, I've never been admitted in hospital. Never. I think the most I've spent in hospital is probably 3 hours. Yeah, I've been a healthy guy all along, no issues. Yeah, but funny enough, for me, I've been quite sickly. I mean, I got seriously ill. I think twice. There was a time I was attending a court session in Nyeri, and I got very, very sick. Like, it was crazy sick. So I think all this pressure has taken a toll on my health. But I just pray that this phase is going to pass and we are going to recover. But I've never been admitted. Just to answer your question. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe some people out there walikuwa nasema like Cairo has really gone through a lot. Remember back then alikuwa in prison, saizi ako admitted hosi. Maybe what keeps you going despite all these setbacks?
You need to understand that God has a plan for everyone, and unfortunately, the toughest people get the toughest jobs. Even in an army unit, it's the toughest soldiers that get the toughest assignments. So I look at some of these things that happened to me, and I'm like, wow, if God thought I was going to handle this, well, it's a privilege, and we handle. Because you see, nobody wakes up. I've always strived to be a good human being. So I don't wake up with the intention of doing bad things. Someone might say, "Oh, it's karma." No, I mean, it's sometimes you can do things by the book in life, but if it's your season for things to go wrong, they will go wrong, and such seasons come. They come to people, and you just have to trust in God as a Christian. You just have to know that God has a plan for everything. So don't focus on the situation. Focus on the prize. There's a book, I think, is it Roman 8:18, that says that you might go through quite a lot of tribulations right now, but the glory that is ahead of you is just is something you cannot imagine. So yeah, so I'm just waiting for my glory days to come, and yeah, and this is a small price to pay, and I just thank God for giving me the strength to persevere. Yeah.
Maybe at some point, did you feel like giving up?
Yeah, I mean, that thought always crosses my mind, but it never lasts in my brain for more than an hour. I think I'll feel like sometimes I'm at the end, and I'm like, man, I can't push anymore. But you remember where you've come from and what you've gone through, and the storms that God has helped you cross, and you're like, okay, even this one you're going to cross. So that's my attitude. Even right now, I'm just like, you know what, we're still going to cross this season. Yeah, yeah.
I remember in the prison you talked about you read the Bible.
Yeah.
Maybe in hospital, what have you done this time?
I've been mostly I just listen to music, gospel, Big Ross Muhando fan. Yeah, I mean, I just listen to because you see now I can't read because for the past few days there's a cannula sticking out of my right hand, and there's a messed up left hand, so I can't really even hold my phone sometimes. Well, I just watch documentaries or just listen to music. Sometimes I just like listening to and just meditating, just listening to the words, and it keeps me going. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And even out there, a lot has been happening, of course, in our country. I don't know if you've followed up the story of Alberto Joan.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that story, and I really feel bad, man. It really, really broke my heart because you people have no idea like how evil some people in power are. Like we are dealing with, I don't want to say everybody in government is evil, but I just want to say that there are people in government who are extremely evil, and these are people who will not hesitate to kill, maim, even destroy businesses, especially if you criticize them. Um, I've personally learned the hard way, so that's why you see me nowadays. I just prefer to watch things unfold, but it's very tragic. Like that thing was on my mind for most of Monday. I kept trying to forget about it, ignoring it, but everywhere you go, you just see it. And just my heart bleeds for that young guy. Because also he has a small kid. He has a dad. He's the only son, and I put that parent in my mom's shoes. And one thing I'll just say is that these people will do a lot of things. It's fine. Power is very transient. Nobody stays in power forever. That's one thing. Today we are in our 20s. In the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, we'll be in our 40s. These activists you're seeing around, these people you see making noise online, one day they'll be the people in government. And our generation might not be very kind to what they're doing to us right now. Today they might feel they're strong and we are weak. Yeah, we are weak. I mean, we don't have the police at our disposal. We don't have the army at our disposal. We don't have the money. But time, nothing lasts forever. Regimes have come. At one point, Moi was the president. He went. Another regime came. Kibaki came. He went. Uhuru Kenyatta came. He went. So even this regime, they just need to realize that some of these things will catch up with them, and we might not be very kind. We are not like our parents. Our parents could understand. Previous regimes in Kenya have come and nothing happens to people who did bad things. But 20 years from now, I foresee a situation where people, especially people in this current regime, will might even be jailed for very many years because a lot of none of these things go unpunished. I believe there's a God in heaven, and killing a guy because of a Twitter post is just bottom of the barrel as it can get. I wish they had said he had stolen or killed, but a post, it just makes you angry, and it just makes you wonder who's really in charge, what's really happening to our country. Very tragic, but I believe that God has a way of balancing the scales, and one day we are the generation that will fix this country, and they will pay. Yeah.
Maybe being among the people who have been behind bars, of course umeona huku ndani venye kunakaa. Maybe people thought that those are the safe place for our country, but seemingly they are not safe anymore. Maybe we umekuwa huko, how is it?
um, let me tell you something. If someone, I've been a victim of this system. I've seen, I've made enemies within, the system, and I've seen how it can be manipulated. Trust me, there's no safe place within. If you're within government, they can kill you in jail.
Yeah, true.
They could pay people in jail to beat you up. They can pay people in the cells to beat you up. They can, you could be out here and you can be kidnapped, and you can be held in a place for 30 days, and nothing will happen. You can even get killed. So, I mean, we live in a country that no place is safe. Because I'd imagine this guy, if when he got arrested, he was like, finally, nimechukuliwa na polisi, only to end up dead. So if you can end up killed and you're in the hands of the police, and it's the police who are charged with, with our it's called with our safety. I mean, it's just tragic. I've seen bad things in prison. I saw bad things. I saw a lot of injustice, and to a certain extent, I think I'm still traumatized because I saw bad things. I saw what the system does to young people, and it's tragic. And that's why I'm telling you, nowadays I just prefer to watch, because we don't have the strength. Sometimes we don't have the power. We don't have the money to fight back, and you just watch. You just pray to God. Yeah, tragic.
Of course, you spoke about the Gen Zs that are uprising, the activists. Within 20 years, they will be in power.
Yeah.
Maybe you, as Khalif Kairo, sometimes later in life, are you planning maybe to vie for a governmental seat?
Um, I get a lot of that nowadays. A lot of people tell me, you should vibe, but I leave that decision to God. I don't. I don't want to preempt myself. I leave it to God, meaning that I won't. I won't. I. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't want to take a path that's not mine, because politics, as it is in the current Kenyan society, is very dirty, very very murky. And sometimes, if you are a good person, you want to avoid places where that are murky. So I wouldn't say that politics is my cup of tea. But if God gives me that direction, and God talks to me and tells me that you need to vie for this seat, this is where I feel like you could make a bit of change, so be it. Yeah.
Because we know you as one of the powerful people in Kenya with big networks and wisdom to the young people, and many people, many Gen Zs look up to you.
Yeah. No, yeah, yeah, it's it's a very tricky situation, because all of a sudden, being a Gen Z, we became like enemies of the government. So it's a very bad place to be. Let me just say that, because on one side, some of us are not really interested in the money, or having a big office, or having 10 chase cars. We just want a country that works for people, because we've been to other places around the world. We've seen how systems should run. So sometimes we criticize, not because we hate these people. They are our parents. I keep saying that the people in the generation that is ruling Kenya right now, they're technically our parents. So we are not trying to revolt or trying to undermine them. We just want a bit of accountability. But things just keep getting worse, worse, and worse. So it's a very tight situation to be in. Because on one side, if the moment the system marks you as a person who is influential, they are going to do everything to tarnish your reputation, to you get undermined. I've personally been through it. And yeah, so these are situations that call for a higher intervention. Vitu zingine by the way, you just leave to God. You just tell God, authority comes from God. Whoever is in power cannot be passed from one person to the other without God's authority. So you just pray to God. Every time you do a prayer, please put Kenya as an agenda, because this country needs prayers on a crazy level. Yeah, yeah. So it's a very tragic situation to be in. Yeah.
Because some of the Gen Zs the other day when they were out on the street for Albert's case, I saw people walking with posters written like Kenya is a proof that even at times prayers cannot help.
Prayers always help. You see, one thing people forget is that we cannot blame the leadership entirely. Whatever is happening in Kenya is basically a reflection of our society. Kenyan society, just to be fair, if you're going to critique, is that we are also very toxic. And like, I'll give you a very good example with the Gen Zs. You'll find that even within the Gen Zs, you'll find that people are very toxic. People want to bring down other people. People are, people will insult you. People will sell agendas. People will sell a lot of misinformation knowingly. So that is lack of accountability on our end. Now, on the other side, the government then argues, look, you guys are trying to destabilize the government because this misinformation, because all these bad things you do in online, nini, nini. So it creates a situation where nobody trusts the other person. And what happens is nobody wins. Because what's going to happen is that the government on the other side has probably lost the information. So there's no agenda they'll ever, even when they decide to do good things and they decide to be good people, nobody will ever see it because there's a lot of misinformation. On the other side, when the Gen Zs want to have a very good agenda or they want to push a very good, a very good agenda just to say, again, people in government will argue, no, but you're always selling misinformation. So we are living in a very toxic society. So change starts with each one of us. We need to be better humans. We need to be kind. We need to be good because evil and Satan only thrive in a place where when you open doors, that's when evil comes in. So I believe in Kenya we've opened doors. There are a lot of evil things happening. There are a lot of vices happening. Yani hakuna hiyo accountability. So whatever you see in government is a reflection of society. Because come to think about it, the people in government right now, we elected them. So you see, it's just proof that we are just, God, you can't plant banana and get coffee beans. It's banana. So the same thing. So the transformative agenda needs to start with us. As the Gen Zs, we need to be the ones we need to be the ones who are kinder to each other online. We need to support one another. We need to love one another. Yeah. And that love puts evil away. But if we are toxic, tunatukanana, we are doing all these bad things, then prayers won't save us because we've allowed evil to take a hold in the country. Yeah.
Let me not exhaust you, wacha tupumue, but maybe as we finish, of course, we know probably God willing, hopefully you're walking out of the hospital today. Maybe do you have any other plans? But from us, we wish you all the best. Your quick recovery, upone, and you continue with your business. Maybe is there any other thing business-wise that you want to tell people, your offices where they're located?
We're currently operating from Diamond Plaza 2, third floor. Yeah, that's where our dealership is. Or you can check out the website, kaiandkaro.com. Yeah.
Maybe those who believe in you, what should they expect?
I mean, we're not going to relent. We'll just keep pushing. Yeah, business wise. Yeah, we're going to keep pushing. Yeah, and to those who look up to me, never give up. Yeah. So we keep fighting. The situation is very dire. A lot of bad things have happened, but that hasn't given me a reason to give up. So we keep praying and we keep fighting. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, Khalif.